YouTube. My name is Taz and I am here again to give you more information about New York City affordable housing. I made a few videos, so I hope that you guys were able to watch all the videos. I know a few of them, there's a lot of information, but trust me, watch each video step by step so that way you can have all the information leading up to what I'm about to advise you in this video. Also, I've been getting a few messages in the comments, just people wanting to reach out for their specific situations. So I created an email that you guys could email me directly. It's affordablehousinghelp@gmail.com. Just please be mindful that, you know, this is a free service I'm providing and I'm trying to help as many people as I can. So just allow a couple days to receive a response. If I'm able to, I'll respond right away, but just be mindful that, you know, you're likely not gonna get a 5 or 10 minute response. So just be mindful of that, but definitely send over any questions that you may have. I'm more than happy to help you guys through the process. But first, please, just to expedite this, watch the videos before emailing, because chances are answers to your questions may be in one of the videos that I made. And, you know, just check that first, then you can email me. I'm more than happy to help. And this is, again, from my experience, what the information that I'm advising you. So let's get into it. Today's video is what to do when you're contacted. I hope by now that you guys already created an application on the Housing Connect website. As I previously advised, that is the first step. So there's no being contacted if you don't have an application in. And this is in regards to, if you're watching this video and you haven't watched my previous video, this is in regards to the affordable housing in New York City, the LIHTC low-income housing tax credit program. So this information is specifically for low-income housing tax credit. This is not information for Section 8. This is only for low-income housing tax credit. Okay, so let's get into it. You already submitted your application. It was filled out correctly. You did as I advised by noting that you want to be contacted by email instead of mail. So you receive your email, you know, you've been randomly selected. We want to bring you in for an interview. These are the list of documents that you need. So that is what we're expecting to get in the mail, and most of you will. If you are on top of it and you're really paying attention to the application start date on the website, on the Housing Connect website, and you're going in and you're applying, you will be selected. So be patient. Okay, so you get your email, you're so excited. The first thing to do is, number one, pay attention to the date given that you need to come in for the appointment. Do not take this for a joke. With these programs, we receive thousands of applications. It is truly a tremendous opportunity to be selected. And, you know, I don't like when people take that for granted, because, you know, it's not, you could be one in like 80,000 applicants to be selected for a building that may only have 100 units. So it's a privilege. So treat the process as such. So you're given a date to come in, you're given a list of documents that's needed. These documents are what we use to make a preliminary determination on your application. Okay, so when you're contacted, if you applied with other individual, as long as that person is over the age of 18, they need to be at the appointment. So that first appointment, all household members need to be there. If they're under the age, if they're over the age of 18, they need to be present for the appointment. So you get the letter review the information that's listed on the letter. Review all the documents that's needed. And that day is the day that you need to start putting that information together for what they're requesting. Do not delay, do not wait till the day before, because oftentimes you delay, like, yeah, I know where that is. And when it's time for your interview, you don't have what's needed. So be sure that you gather all the information beforehand. So one of the most important things also, do not, I repeat, do not show up to the building if you do not have an appointment. Do not do it. I see it way too often, even when I put in my ads that we do not accept walk-in. For affordable housing, if you receive a letter, there is no opportunity to walk in. So do not waste your time. It's not a good look. And that's also showing that, you know, you're trying to get ahead of the process. Just patiently wait until your appointment day. Do not just pop up, say, oh, I want to see an apartment now. It may sound random, but trust me, I've seen it way too many times. So do not do that. Okay, so you gather all your documents. You're ready for your appointment. Whoever needs to come with you, you go. Make sure none of your documents are expired. So if you have a photo ID, do not bring an expired photo ID. If they say bring 6 pay statements, it needs to be consecutive. Pay attention to the information that you're bringing in. You do not want to do anything to delay the process for you. And failure to bring all the documents you need will eventually delay the process for you. So you really need to take your time with this, pay attention. You should know what 6 consecutive pay statements are. If you're not sure, just type in Google the week number calendar, look at it, or just look on your phone. If you get paid weekly, look at your check date and see the different dates that you should have your pay statements, and bring those documents. The other thing, bring complete documents. So you are required to bring your complete tax return, all pages, state and federal. Not just the 1040, not just 2 pages. Do not select what you think we need. Do not only bring the documents that you think, okay, these are the documents with numbers, that's all they need. No. Bring all pages of every document. Like, we have to get complete documents. If you have a tax return, and I'm telling you guys the different scenarios that I see, and this will help you jumpstart for you. Do not, this is what I've seen, do not wipe out your social security number. If you have a bank statement, do not cross out your account number. You cannot withhold that information, because that information will be needed. So do not alter with any of the documents. One of the main things I see when you have when we have bank statements, oftentimes it will say pay, you know, like 6 pages, and each page will say 1 of 6 or 2 of 6. Even if the last page says intentionally left blank, still bring the entire bank statement. Don't only bring the first page because that's where they could see the account balance. No. Bring complete documents for everything. And that's very important, because if you fail to do so, it will delay the process for you, and what you provide will not be accepted, and then you'll have to go back and do it at a later date. So I'm just telling you right now, so you could know, so you could better prepare. Don't try to, like, we need pretty much doing this process, there's a lot of information involved. So there's nothing that you could block out on your documents, because it's just not gonna work. So I just want to be very clear about that, because I see that all the time. I know a lot of people say, oh, it's my personal information. This process is personal. I'm being transparent with you. Oftentimes people always say, oh wow, you know more about my life than I do. Yeah, kinda. So we need that information. It's not to be sneaky. It's not to know about your personal business, but this is a tax credit program that the city really want to make sure that eligible families are the ones that's getting these apartments and people are not taking advantage of the system. Far too many times I've discovered so many things on tax returns. It's like, wow, so don't try to pull a fast one. So that's the first order of biz. So you show up on time. Do respect the time that's noted on your document. We have so many appointments lined up, so don't have a 9 o'clock appointment and show up 9:30, because trust me, everything is on a schedule, and it just says a lot about you. If you were selected out of 80,000 people and you showed up 30 minutes late for an appointment, that's telling me you don't respect my time. So make sure you show up on time for your appointment with all your documents, and bring copies of the documents. Bring copies. Do not bring your original. Bring copies. The letters will specifically tell you to bring copies. Okay? So you're at your appointment, they're going through all your paperwork and everything. They'll ask you a question. It's an interaction. So they're talking, asking you questions, just to see if anything will pop up. So be mindful for what you're saying. Far too many times, applicants just ask certain question that begs the question, like, what's your true intentions here? And one of the things I want to be very clear, because I have to always respectfully say this to applicants: we are not your friends, and nothing you tell us is off the record. Way too many applicants, I'm a very polite person, and we have to be polite. We're dealing with the general public. So oftentimes applicants confuse that with you being their friends. So many times I will have applicants say off the record, or don't put this there, but no. So I always say, just to be clear, whatever you advise me will be factored in your application. Nothing is off the record. So if you tell me you babysit for your friends on weekend and you get an extra $20, what, that's nothing? Yes, it is something. So be honest in the process, but don't say something for conversation's sake, not knowing that nothing is off the record. So everything you say during that appointment is on the record. So you could say, oh yeah, my children's father may come live with us. Now your household composition is in question. So just be mindful of what you're saying. When you get to the appointment, just make sure you answer all the questions that they ask. If you have any questions, be sure that you ask. They'll walk you through the process of, it depends. The next step really depends on the stage that development is at. So in some cases, like for me, when I did these appointments, if the applicant came in and they had all the information that's needed, and I'm able to make a preliminary determination on the spot, and the language we use is preliminary, it appears that you may be eligible, because we can't confirm eligibility until it's approved. We can confirm approval until it's approved by the agency. So from my experience, if an applicant come in and they have all the paperwork that's needed and it appears that they will be eligible, I will give them a tour of the apartment. So if you applied for a new development, brand new building, no one lived there before, typically you're shown 2 to 3 units typically. So you're able to select. If you applied for a building that's contacting applicants for waitlisted apartment, then they may only have 1 unit and show you the 1 unit that's available. But I love new buildings. So you get to show, you give them options. You show 3 different apartments, so you could kind of choose, and you don't feel like, oh, because it's affordable housing, it's like, this is what you get, take it or leave it. So many times, again, you get a selection, you get a tour of the building, just to give you an insight, so you can know what to expect. So that is the fun part, seeing the building, the amenities, seeing 3 different options, and then they'll advise you, to pretty much let them know, if you were to be approved, which one of these units you will want to reserve, select. So what I do for that first appointment, you get to reserve a unit. It's not like completely off the market. It depends what transpires with your application, but my process is I typically give you the tour, show you about 2 to 3 units. You say, okay, I like 1A. So when you leave, I'm putting 1A as the unit that you're interested in. And I will have you fill out additional paperwork, like third-party documents that we need to send out to continue the verification process. So once we do that, if you miss something, we'll give you a list of additional documents that you need. And just note that different developers' process may be slightly different, but it's pretty much all boils down to the same thing. So you leave, you're contacted again based off when we send out the third party, we get information back, we're crunching in numbers, now we're really getting to the point of it. What we're doing in that process is now we're putting your information together to submit it to our internal compliance team to give us an in-house approval before we send it to the agency. So HPD or HCC, that's the ones, that's the agencies that give the final approval. So we put this information together, then we send it over to them for the approval, because they're the ones that say, yes, this person meet all the requirements, they're approved. So just know that throughout this process, at any time up until you're approved, you may be asked for additional documents. Like the agent could send over your information to the compliance team and they realize, okay, this needs to be verified, so you need to get this from the person. Then that leasing specialist now have to reach out to you. So I say that to say this. A lot of people get annoyed with this part of the process, but just understand that it's not that the agent have nothing to do and want to ask you for 1 million documents. It's really that there's a lot of details. People don't understand the details that goes with this. So there's a lot of information that we have to go through with a fine teeth comb to make sure we don't miss anything. So if something else is needed, we reach out to you, you send it to us, whatever the situation is. In that process, just make sure that you are meeting whatever deadline is given. Do not take those deadlines for granted. It's not someone just throwing out random dates. The agency advise us of timeline that we have to, the letter has to be for a certain day. We have to give you 10 business days to respond. We have to give you 5 business days here and there. So there's different timeline based on where you are in the process. So it's not the developer making these numbers up. These are all the agency guidelines. So just make sure you are on top of that. Like if you are going through the process, you need to be checking your email every single day. I have people email me like 3 months later. I've even had someone email me a year later and say, oh, is the apartment still available? Like, can we be serious? But I say that to say this, like, pay attention to your email. Check your spam, check everything. You want to be on top of that. And if you don't hear back, it's okay to send a gentle follow-up. Say, hey, so-and-so, I'm just checking in to see if anything is needed from my end. Do not harass the team. Do not call 30, 40 times. It may sound funny to some people, but these are all things that I've seen. Do not call 30, 40 times. Do not curse the specialist out, because oftentimes it's above them. Just follow what you need to do. Hang in there. That is the critical part. And I'm being transparent with you because this is a time where a lot of people get frustrated and be like, I don't want to do this anymore. Because it's not just ABC. For some people it is. Like, I've had experiences where people are like, whoa, really? I'm approved? That was simple, that was quick. But when you work with the specialist, when you do what you need to do on your end, then it works. Like, when I call my applicants, I'm telling you, so listen, we could get through this if we work together. So this is, it's not a me thing or a you thing. It's us. We got to do this together, because there's going to be time where I randomly call you and say, hey, I need XYZ. Can you send this over to me? So once you have that mindset, like, okay, I'm going to be on it, we're going to bang this out, then we'll get through it. But if it's just like, oh, you need that, why you need this, I already sent that, it doesn't make sense. It's not going to help you. It's not going to do anything for you. So don't have that mentality. Just look at the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is an opportunity that's ahead of you. So once we send out all the third party verification, everything is good. You have to come back in once we put the package together, just to have you sign off on the package. Then we send it over to the agency. Just know that by this time they'll do credit and background check, just to make sure you're meeting all the guidelines. Remember what I spoke about regarding your Zelle deposits, because for low-income housing, you have to submit your actual bank statements. So one of the things I mentioned in my previous video, you want to make sure that who's ever sending you money, they're filling out that description to say what it is, because you're going to have to explain all those deposits on your account. So, because it begs the question if that's additional income. So just remember that part. I spoke about it in more details in a previous video. But once everything is good, your credit is good, all of that is good, we send it over to the agency. The agency tells us, yay, you're approved. Then we contact you, we let you know you're approved. What's required is first month rent and security deposit. We schedule a lease signing. The unit that you selected, say, hey, this is the unit, you're happy or what have you. So that is the process of what to do when you're contacted, because then you get your keys, and the good part, you go in, you sign your lease, it's official, you feel happy, and you have nothing to worry about until you're ready to until the next year when you need to recertify. So that is pretty much the process. I hope I didn't miss anything, but maybe I did. But if you guys have any questions, remember my email is, I made a new email specifically for this YouTube channel so I can help you guys. It's called affordablehousinghelp@gmail.com. I hope you guys truly put this information to good use. It's a blessing. Oh, let me say this also. Just in case you go through the process and say for some reason your application is deemed ineligible or rejected. Ineligible is if you do not meet one of the criterias, and rejected, it could be like we have the information to reject you. Either way, there's an appeal process where you get 10 business days to appeal. With appeal, you have to submit supporting documents of why you believe that your application should not be deemed ineligible or rejected. 10 business days means 10 business days. Just if you know that you are wrongfully rejected or deemed ineligible, just write a letter and enclose your supporting documents. It is not something to talk through. You can't talk the specialist through why you shouldn't be rejected. It has to be in writing. But again, you will need to pay attention to the date of that rejection or ineligible letter, so that way you could submit the appeal timely. Also, if you were rejected or deemed ineligible, you do have an opportunity. So it's not like that's the end of it for you. I've seen many successful appeals, so don't be discouraged by that. Just really assess. If you're ineligible or rejected, always truly understand and be sure that it makes sense to you, because we are not perfect. I've had a scenario where I wrongfully rejected someone before. It happens to all of us. So once you provide your letter and supporting documents, then we revisit it, and we'll reinstate your application if need be, or we'll uphold our rejection. So I've seen it both ways. But just be sure, don't give up that easily. Do your due diligence, do your research, and if you're ever rejected, email me. I am more than happy to listen to the scenario, to read the scenario and advise you based on my experience. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope I have everything. I'm still trying to think if there's anything. But then, yeah, the fun part, you move in and life is good, life is happy. You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I watched this YouTube video. I'm so grateful that I actually applied. So that's where I'm trying to get to. It's really a tremendous opportunity. And you guys have no idea how much, low-income housing tax credit could really change your and improve your life. Even if you have family, like just having affordable housing in a nice neighborhood, it's like the dream, so just truly share this video with someone that will benefit from this information. Be on top of the Housing Connect website. If you were waitlisted, if you submitted an application and you receive a waitlist letter, don't give up. Like, there's still a chance. Like, I've processed application from the waitlist. It may not be overnight, but still be hopeful and still be on top of it. Still check your email from time to time, because if you are waitlisted and they send out a notice to you that they're up to your log number, you want to make sure that you're seeing that email and you're responding to it in a timely manner. So you have to, if you are applying for affordable housing, like, you have to pay attention to your email address. Like, I know a lot of people, if email is not a part of your profession or just your daily routine, you tend to not check it often. But if you are in this process, you need to check it often, because if you don't, you're gonna miss your deadline, and that is you missing the opportunity, because you can't tell them, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't check my email. Like, by then your application will already be rejected. All right, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I truly hope this information was helpful. I hope I covered everything. I will be doing another video for my middle income folks. Majority of my experience is actually for middle income housing. So I'm gonna do a video regarding middle income. That's for anyone, technically you could call it like $52,000 and higher. I'll do a video for you guys as well, just to give you insight. Again, if you have questions, email me. And I re-watch my videos from time to time, so if I notice that I missed anything, I would just do a random, I'll just do a random video just recapping everything to just kind of plug in what I missed. But yeah, that's everything in a nutshell. So thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to my channel. There is so much more to come in 2020. I'm gonna do a live also, and just to answer direct questions, and I'll give you more information. A lot of these guidelines are changing. I believe August 2019 was the last change, but things are constantly changing. So I'll keep you updated. Be sure to subscribe. A lot more information to come about different incredible resources that we need to take advantage of in New York City. So thank you for watching, and have an amazing day, and Happy New Year. How did I forget to say that in the beginning of my video? Happy New Year. I hope 2020 will find you in a low-income housing tax credit, in a sky-rise, in a high-rise, your nice apartment overlooking the Hudson, seeing the Statue of Liberty, paying less than $600. That is a dream, right? And it is possible, and I want to help you guys do that. So have a great day. Remember to subscribe, like, and share this video.